So today I'm going to speak about pain. So if you're going through a bit of a challenging time in your life, you're not sure how to manage it, or you feel like you just have to just deal with it in order to go through it, or you think that it's just continually a lot of life, it's not. Let me show you, let me tell you, let me guide you. This time, this video, I'm actually going to connect with my guides called a collective, and we're going to help you and guide you through the thing called pain. I'll see you after this intro. So welcome back. My name's Jay. I'm from Karnak Holistics, where we learn together and we grow together in the sight of God. So today I want to speak about pain. And the important things about pain, now there's many versions of pain. Pain, physical pain, also headache pain, and also your heart pain, which nobody wants to really go through. But what I'm going to talk about today is how you can manage all of them using something called clear light. And it's something, this is why I wanted to have this light behind me to kind of show you and guide you to what you can do. I just want to tell you a quick story about my past, but around what happened with my pain when I was in hospital and how I overcame kind of like being out of body and do something called clear light meditation in order to let my body deal with the pain and my spirit to manage my actual self. It's a bit complicated, but it does work and it's really powerful, but not everyone should do it because it could be quite dangerous. So what happened was I was in hospital and I was going through a series of multiple heart attacks, and it was really challenging time, of course. And it was it was probably the most darkest time of my life. But what I remember, from what I can remember of it, is I remember having a collective around me and them saying to me, just breathe through the pain, over and over and over again. Now, this pain inside me was crazy. It was so bad that I can't even explain it. And I don't really speak about it, but I wanted to put it down on video because there's been lots of pain. I've been talking to a lot of people who are suffering, not just emotionally, physically, and also spiritually. And their pain is something I wanted to try and put on this video to help them and you guys to try and go over or manage and grow through your pain. So with me, when I was going through that pain, again, it was physical, but it's also emotional. I had nobody around me at the time. I was alone in this bed, and I just remember there was massive sharp pains going through my chest, and I felt like my heart were going slower and then faster, slower and faster. I was scared. I was scared beyond belief. It was just crazy. And I remember realizing that this may be the last time I actually breathe, or I actually kind of have a thought, or even I'm not going to see my kids again, I'm not going to see my family again, I'm not going to see my friends again. And I had all this stuff running through my head. And about what then I just heard this, I had this overwhelming amount of love just coming to the room. And when I say room, I was in the cubicles. And what happened was this energy just came in, and I just heard a voice say to me, it wasn't like someone saying, oh, blah, blah, blah. It was more of a feeling, but it translated into a voice. Most people would understand what I mean by that if they've experienced it. But what I want to say is that the voices said to me, which I know who it was a collective that I work with now, and they were just saying, stay calm, don't overreact, just stay calm, and then just breathe, just keep breathing, take deep breaths, inhalations and exhales. And so I was doing that through it, and then I remember, then it said, visualize yourself out of your body, so then I did. And I remember seeing my body being, it was really weird. It felt like it was surrounded by daggers, and I remember them spirit working on it, and once that went, I remember going back into my body, and then the nurses coming over, and then give me a whole load of painkillers, and it was obviously it was a challenging time, very scary. So what I'm trying to say is, like, when you are at that point when your heart's been broken, you are feeling physical pain, when you're feeling stressed. So when you're feeling stressed, is breathe through your pain. It's a form of meditation. What you do, you just shut your eyes, close your eyes, keep it closed. You can keep your eyes open, but just be aware of breath. Take it in and out. And while you're doing the meditation, or you know how to do the breathing in and out. So while you're doing that, what you need to do is think about the subject, the thing that you're going through. So let's just use an example. Let's say, like, you've got a bad headache, or you're going through a breakup, or let's say that you've got a rejection from work, or whatever the situation is. I'm using pain as in something negative that you're going to use the light to make it a positive. Okay, so when you're going through what you need to do is see the actual pain. Yeah, so if the pain is in, for example, say the pain is in your chest, not physical pain, you need to imagine where the pain is. So if it's emotional pain, let me use emotional pain, probably the best way I can explain it. So let's say you're not getting on very well, and then there's people around you that are really upset, you're being bullied, or you've had a heartbreak, or whatever the situation is, or you're confused. What you need to do is you need to visualize where the pain is in your body. So let's say it's in the heart. So let's say it's the heart chakra. You need to look at the heart chakra, which is green, and really encapsulate the situation and create it into a physical thing. So you need, say for example, it's a breakup. Let's put it into, I don't know, a broken shell. Okay, let's put it into a broken shell. What you need to do is bring that broken shell in front of you and see that broken shell coming out of your chest. Once you see a broken shell, as you visualize the pain coming out of your chest, you can then send it off to the light. Once it goes off to the light, then you do this a series of times, and then once you've done that and it's gone to the light, what you can then do, which a lot of people don't do, which I'm very surprised, is you can start seeing or asking, once it goes to the light, only when it gets to the light, right? Remember this, when it gets to the light, you ask how you can overcome it. What's going to help you grow through it? That's important, because they may show you a sense of smell. They may give you a sense of smell. They may show you a visualized thing, like it may show you something in your mind's eye. You may not get anything yet, but when you do, you would realize, say for example, you've done it, and then after you see something linked to that, and you would know, they will make it prominent to you. They won't just send a random sign or something and not tell you. They will give you a sign, and then they will say to you, this is it, this is your answer, and you would just know it in your soul. But don't look out for it. You can't be walking around looking for it. I like to use analogies or an example. Let's look. I don't know if anyone's seen Bruce Almighty. So if it's still Bruce Almighty, when he was asking about, he wanted to be an anchor, and he couldn't get into the job, and he was really upset and he was in pain. So while he was driving, he was seeing all these images coming in front of him, but he was so in himself that he couldn't see the actual thing which Spirit was trying to show him, or God was trying to show him. So therefore, because he didn't see it, he hit a tree. So because I know I said you don't need to look for it, but you kind of like look for it. You almost kind of you got to live in a world of expectation. This is where when you grow, you get to this point and you see the difference between it just being a visualized thing, or visualize you just seeing things or imagining things, to the magic is that it's linked to that situation. And when you say, for example, they decide to send you go to the forest, to show you a forest, Go to a forest, or go, and if they show you a field, go to a field. It doesn't have to be the exact field, you know. Or you may be watching a movie and then you'd be drawn to something on that movie. For example, I don't know, like, let me say a forest or hills or near a river or near a valley, something like that. If you get drawn to it, there's your answer. And that's the second part of the whole releasing of the pain. Because if you don't, it will just come back round again. And then you will kind of like bring it back on yourself. And then you'd have to try and repeat it again in order to let it go. You know, pain is our greatest teacher. Pain is our greatest teacher. You know, we look to have things good all the time. And then we get disgruntled when it doesn't work out for us. But pain is powerful. Pain probably is the most powerful thing you can see by love, obviously. But because pain shows you what you don't want, and if it's not right, and you grow through it or go through it, you will come out the other end a lot more wiser and a lot more smarter. And it's so important that you understand the difference between it being just an image or a message. Because the message is, without doubt, that's from them. And going through some of the dark times in my life that I faced, and the darkest time is when you're on your own. And that's when the gremlins come in. That's when, you know, they say the devil, but that's when your self-doubt and negativity start kicking in. But you can't be around everybody day in, day out. This is where you need to create self-love. And I need to kind of like teach you, Carnians, that this is about you growing. And when you grow, and then when you get your self-love, nobody on the planet will be able to touch you. Trust me. And it's not being egotistical or having an ego. It's about you having self-love and having respect for yourself. And people criticize protesters. They have an overwhelm of love for their cause, to the point is where they will put themselves in harm or put themselves with the possibility to go to prison, which is going to impact their life for many years to come. Now, we know that sometimes some protesters are not always doing things by the book and so on and so forth. That's why protesting is protesting. But I'm not condoning it. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not wrong. What I'm saying is I'm looking at the reason, the action, the why. And it was Tony Robbins that turned around and said, I remember this clearly, when he says, I'm the why guy. I want to know why it's happening. What am I going to do about it? Where do I go from there? And why do I need to go and do this now? So everything's about why. Children are one of the most powerful things to show this. Right, can you go and do this? Why? Because I said so. Why? You know, so, and every parent will know what I'm talking about. But that's what you need to be. And I want to turn around and emphasize, you can do this with God. Obviously, don't annoy him. But if he asks you to, guiding you to do something, it's okay for you to go, why? Because he would then go, because of da-da-da-da. But if you get why, then he, you know, your guys and God would get a bit annoyed. But it's about, because they want you to understand why you're doing it, not because you just have to do it. They want you to see why you are doing these things. And this is because when you're going through this pain, you need to know why you're going through this pain. You're not going through the pain because it's just one of them things. You're going through this pain because you're there to learn something. You know, I learned that I could have went down a dark valley recently and turned really dark, and my self-love was low, had no confidence in myself whatsoever. I almost pretty much hated myself. But I asked a question, actually. I asked a question, why? Why am I like this? And then God was saying to me, it's because you're allowing people to take your power. And this is what pain's about. People taking your power. And you are responsible for your own power. You are the one that says yes or no to how you are. Please do not let no one take your power whatsoever, because if you do, you're definitely not going to make it through. And I'm not saying you need to be conceited or rude or anything. You can still be the burning light of example of God's creation like you are, and keep shining. But you are allowed to turn around and just go and turn around and go to somebody, why? Or no, I'm not letting you do this. I'm not letting you, control me. Or I'm not going to be left in this situation. And you have the onus, and you need to own that, because without that, you're just going to keep spiraling out of control. So I'm just going to end it there and just say, you know what? Pain should be embraced and dealt with, because if you learn to manage pain becomes like a teacher, like in Hogwarts, the dark arts. You would learn what it's all about. You would learn the triggers. You would learn how to manipulate the triggers and deal with the triggers, and you won't have the heartache as much, but you will have the foresight to know if it's something you can manage. One more thing before I go. Excuse me. One more thing before I go. It's okay to ask for help. People around you, God, definitely ask for help. You can ask why, and you can ask for help, and it will be given to you. And then pain will become less of an obstacle and more of a teaching tool. So I leave you on that, and I hope you're well. Please share, please like and share, and I'll see you in the next video. And namaste.